and welcome. I'm Cait Sarazin. I'm a senior content manager at WWCode, and today we have Melissa Steele, who is a front-end engineer. Melissa, thank you for being here today.
Yes, definitely.
So you have an interesting career path. You started off in the wedding industry. Can you kind of walk us through how you ended up being a front-end engineer?
Well, I have what I like to call half of an art degree. And I didn't finish school. I just kind of dove right into the wedding industry. I was a bridal stylist for quite a while, and I really enjoyed it. I love being involved with someone's day like that. It's just such a special thing. And then after a while, I started looking for something that was more engaging, something where I felt like I was needed, like my creativity could be put in there. And I first started looking at digital design, but something just felt like it was missing. And then I more stumbled upon front end and it just like it clicked. And I found a boot camp. I went to Turing in Denver. And I was able, I always tell people front end is oddly artistic and creative. It's not, while it does have to do with design, there's just so many different ways to get to that solution. And I just really enjoyed it. And I found it. And ever since then, I couldn't put it down.
Awesome. So with that, where are you hoping to go kind of in the future? So you're a front engineer now, but do you kind of know which direction you want to go in the future?
I want to stay in front end. Yeah, I want to focus on machine learning as well, some AI. I did a lightning talk about using virtual reality in psychology, and I thought that was something that was really interesting. And so I'd really just love to explore that too. My main focus, I want to work for, Black owned, women owned companies with women investors, Black investors. It's something that's very important to me.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great point you make about front end being creative and coding being creative because sometimes people that aren't in it don't see it that way. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, thank you for raising that. With that, what has your experience been like as a woman in tech so far?
As a woman in tech, boot camp was definitely eye-opening. There was a lot of white males, obviously, and while my school put a lot of emphasis on diversity and we would dive into different situations each week, it's still those, little bits, sorry, the word's not coming to me, but those little incidences, yeah, occurrences where someone would speak over me or I would ask a question and it would just kind of get ignored. That was really tough to gauge because I worked in an industry that was mostly women previously. So just being around that, it took a lot of understanding on my part to not affect my self-confidence. But I was able to find my group of women and men that they were able to build that back up, and I was able to rely on them in this industry.
Definitely. And that leads into my next question. So, have you had mentors or advocates or supporters or communities in your career so far? And if you have, how has that really played into helping you be successful professionally?
So my aunt actually is a web developer. She works for Booz Allen, and so I'm able to lean on her. She's really excited. She has someone to talk to tech about or talk with about tech with. Um, and so I have her. I do have a mentor from school. They have each student, they give them a mentor. And so that was really something that got me through the pace of boot camp as well. And then just building my own outside circle within the industry. With the pandemic, it's been a lot harder networking wise, but I still really try and dive in. I want to be more involved with the company Black Girls Code. And so I'll be able to network a little bit and just build that close, tight circle.
Yeah, that's a really amazing organization that has,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a part of our community, Women in Code as well. So thank you for sharing all of that. So coming from the bridal industry and then coming into the tech world, did you ever deal with fear, either fear of just jumping into the unknown or imposter syndrome? And if you did, can you share any tips for how you navigated that?
Yes, it was maybe I just kind of dove in without thinking it through too much. So I needed a change and I found it in development. But as I grew, as I learned more, I definitely, and I still do to this day, have imposter syndrome, but I've just decided, I'm just a really good imposter. You know?
Love that.
Yeah. Because, we have so much to constantly learn, and with tech evolving as it does, you're never fully caught up. And if you just get too, I feel like you just can't take yourself too seriously in this industry.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a
Yeah.
really good way to look at it. Yeah, I like that. Are there any women in tech in history or in modern times that have inspired your career?
Really my aunt, and I know you're probably looking for maybe a specific name or something, but yeah. But yeah, my aunt and then my niece. I got into this, my two nieces, they were born, uh what are they? They're a year old now. So they were born in 2019. Got to remember the year. But 2019, and that's kind of what pushed me. I was like, I want them to be able to get into any industry they would like and see someone that looks like them, see someone who's already made that path. And that's really what inspired me to find a career that drives me like tech does.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love that. Do you have any other pieces of advice for women in tech?
I think it's just important to advocate for yourself. Make sure that you're showing your worth, you're demanding, your worth, and also advocate for other women. Like if you have a seat at the table, then like pull up a chair and give her a seat at the table as well. We're
Yeah,
we are creating what women, or how women are going to be treated in tech in the future. What we demand is going to be this, status quo for the women who are going to come after us.
definitely. And that's a really good point. I think sometimes as women, we think if someone has the same role as us in the same industry that we're competing and it's a zero sum game. If they get a promotion, then we can't. When whether you're in the same company or you're in the same business, really everyone rises together if we
Yes.
that way. And sometimes we get locked in this capitalistic way and of being and existing of competition when really it's better if everyone rises together and doesn't there's not a zero sum game. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. And there's so many, with all the tech companies, they do try to push this teamwork aspect, but I don't know if they foster it enough, if they actually, there's team bonding experiences, team building experiences, but you need that genuine actual, like, I'm doing good, so, or you're doing good, so that means I'm doing good kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for your time. You've been very inspiring and you give a lot of really great tips that our audience will love. So thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.